In 3, 2, 1. Welcome to a brand new quarantine edition of the Hollywoo Reporter. I'm Matthew Mingo, alongside, actually, computer side, my co-host,
Daniel Mendez.
And we're back.
We're back with the BoJack Horseman Almost Christmas in July quarantine special.
Yeah, this is coming late, and we can't even blame the quarantine.
Yeah, no, we should have done this a while ago.
This was supposed to be around the holidays, actually, but you know what? Yep. Like how the episode airs, it's in the summer, because they're in. It's warm while they're doing it too. The episode, because they're based in California.
Yeah.
So, we're right on top of it. Except it's a little chilly today. It's a little chilly. I'm a little cold.
It was nice out before, and then it started raining.
I know. It was nice last week.
Yeah.
It's like in the 70s.
Not like it matters. We can't go anywhere and do anything. So.
Oh yeah, we're in quarantine. Just in case you all didn't realize that. In case most. Yeah, because it's been wonderful.
It really
hasn't changed. It hasn't changed much in my life, though.
Not for me either. I'm sitting where I usually sit.
I still have to go to work, so like...
Well, I thank you, Mingo, for being an essential worker.
Thanks.
I could not live without
you.
you. Yeah, seriously.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
You are braver than... I used to work in a grocery store, and I can confidently say that I would not go to work a single day.
It went from me working 3 days a week to 6 days a week.
Okay.
And
then you got a raise, right?
We got a $2 raise, which is nice, and they extended it. It was supposed to end May 2nd, so this week, but they extended it to May 16th. So I'm hoping they keep extending it, or they fire me. One of the two. It's one of the. I either want one of the two to happen, because if I'm gonna stay there, I either want more money or to be canned in a great way, like kick me out the door.
Well, we appreciate you. And quick shout out to all the essential workers.
Yes.
All of them.
Yes. All the
medical
all
people,
the guys
down to the trash guys. I haven't missed a single garbage day in all this, so shout out to them.
No, us either.
Yeah.
Everyone's doing an amazing job.
Delivery guys, restaurants. I've seen bars being converted into like grocery stores. Or like
that's great.
Curbside pickup. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
I try to go out at least once or twice a week to get something from a local restaurant or something to support the locals and stuff. So it's all you can do at this point. Mm-hmm. And I've given up socializing completely outside of like texting and stuff.
This is what Mingo's been waiting for this whole time.
Basically, an excuse to stay in. I even had a friend ask me, "Hey, do you want to come over and hang out?" I'm like, "No, man, I'm not going out. I'm not getting sick or getting you sick. I work in a grocery store. I could be sick. I don't know."
Yeah. Well, I have a friend that's a DMT and a friend that's in a nursing home. So, and you.
Yeah, it's
in the grocery store.
Me, thank you.
Yeah. So I'm hoping for you guys. I'm praying for you.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate it. Yeah, we appreciate it. It is what it is. I do miss 3 things I thought about today. I miss 3 little things. I miss going out Friday nights with my friends playing, our stupid card games, and then going out to eat afterwards. I miss riding with the bulls on our monthly villa trips.
Yeah, man.
Miss that.
We're gonna have to do like three in 1 week after this is all over.
We're gonna have to, because we gotta make sure villa stays open.
Yeah, I already went there. I already bought stuff from them, making sure they're
You
good.
did?
Yeah.
I gotta go there. Really?
Yeah.
I gotta go there. Is it still the full menu that's open?
I believe so, yeah.
I might have to go there.
Yeah.
I might have to pick some up, because I got the next couple days off, so I might have to go to Villa, pick up food. I miss it. And the third thing I miss having like discourse with people about what I'm watching or what they're watching or what they're listening to.
Yeah.
Like, you miss that, because like I'm stuck inside all day. Not a huge loss.
You have probably so much time to watch TV.
You think I would, but like when I'm off, because I got school and work. School's ended this week, thank God, and
Yeah,
but
that's probably the one.
I still find time.
Is school.
Yeah, but I found time, and I have a bunch of things on my Netflix queue and my Hulu queue to watch. I think I spent like 4 hours today catching up on things I wanted to watch, and some things I didn't even know existed until today. So like that was cool, but like I miss it. I miss going out and doing stuff with you guys and just talking about stuff. Not like we used to go set the world on fire or anything. You know, our Raven days are behind us, but like
before all this, I know I went out with Connor and Holly, our friends.
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
And
I know of them. Yeah.
And Mingo just couldn't make it out that last time we hung out, and so I haven't seen Mingo. I saw Mingo once.
What was that time?
Holly's birthday.
That's right. No, I had to work that night. That's right.
So I haven't seen Mingo in quite literally months.
Yeah.
And I saw him the first time 2 days ago, was it?
Yeah, when you dropped off the camera.
I dropped off the camera he's recording on right now. And I left it on his doorstep and I ran away. And he came out in his PJs and picked it up.
I was like, all right. I wore my good PJs for you, too. We're in the pajama bottoms right now, honestly.
And then I called him from the car. I called him from I'm like, this is how we go to each other's house now. We call from the driveway.
You know, you've been the closest to my house most of my friends, so.
Yeah.
Even before this.
I love the jacket, by the way.
Thank you. It's new.
Yes.
I'm so proud of it. I like it a lot. It's very comfortable.
Yeah.
I was I saw this artist like Jeff Tweedy wearing it, our version of it. Probably his is more expensive, and I thought, I could probably pull off this look. And I texted it to like 3 different people, being like, "Can I pull off this jacket?" And they're all like, "Yeah, I think you could."
Nice.
And my friend Rob was like, "No,
it's a switch up from the sweatshirt, from the typical sweatshirt, Rams sweatshirt that you usually wear."
But it's still laid back.
Yeah.
Like, it's not too fancy. It's not fancy or anything. It's laid back, you know. It still fits my dad vibe. And it's nice. I like it. I'm going to keep it, I think. It's going to be my new thing. I'm going to make the wardrobe. That's going to be my quarantine thing.
Yeah.
I'll look nice in quarantine.
It's like a midlife crisis. It's like a midlife crisis, but like quarantine. It's like a mid-quarantine crisis.
Well, I turned 25 in...
That's right.
In
month of Mingo.
On Sunday, yeah, we're on that. We're killing it. The month of Mingo, which is my favorite time of year. I wanted to make T-shirts this year, but I couldn't. So, and I have the money to. That's the sad thing.
Yeah.
I've saved up so much money, and I'm like, I can make the T-shirts. Oh wait, how do I get them to people?
You have to send them.
So I might have to do something after the month of Mingo.
Well, that's what we did last year. We surprised you
with
like
a birthday.
Week after your birth. No, like several weeks after.
Like a month after.
Yeah. It was no longer the same month.
It wasn't. I was like, what?
Anyway, right, let's get to the meat of this podcast, which
back
is
to BoJack.
The BoJack Horseman Christmas Special.
Yes.
A very BoJack Christmas. I don't know what it's called. What's it technically called?
I think it's called like that. A very BoJack Christmas. It's a weird episode, man.
It is kind of weird.
Let me just look. Let me look up the title. BoJack Christmas Special. As we continue, as I always forget to look up the title of stuff. BoJack Horseman.
I want to say though. I want to say to the audience, I did take notes. Look at this. What? Several pages of notes, Mingo. Look at this.
I have one page, so you beat me there. Okay, so the episode's called BoJack Horseman Christmas Special. Sabrina's
BoJack
Christmas Wish.
Okay.
Sabrina's Christmas Wish.
So, you can tell though I haven't been in school and having to take notes for a while, about 2 years now, because my handwriting is just absolute garbage. I don't know if I'm going to be able to read half of this, but
don't worry.
I went all of season 1, no notes, just writing on the back of Mingo. And I just overcompensated on this one.
We had a good thing going. I did the research and you brought the equipment.
Yep.
I will say that I forgot this episode is not in the BoJack Horseman TV, like the feed.
Yeah.
You have to go to a separate thing. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Because I first went to the actual page and being like, wait, where's the Christmas special? I know that's here.
I just looked it up. I looked it up on the search.
It's... So. I am always been surprised they didn't do more of these.
That's true. Like, they could have done a couple
It's so self-contained. Like a Halloween special or a Valentine's Day one. I don't know why they never went back to this well. I thought it was such a good idea because these are so self-contained. It could happen at any point during the show's run. Like, you could even say this was 2 years ago in the midst of something. Like,
so, I've been watching, like, Dr. House in this quarantine. And that was a show that was, came out, like, it was a once-a-week episode type show.
Yeah.
So I think because this show is, like, such a Netflix, like, they just drop it all at once.
Yeah.
They have to, like, actually do a special. Or, like, a show like House or a show like How I Met Your Mother or whatever has to do, like, a Christmas theme. Because when the show drops, it is the holidays. So, I guess maybe that's why they didn't make more of them.
You know what? Netflix has done this before. The show Sense8 did a holiday episode. Big Mouth did a Valentine's Day episode, right?
I think so.
Yeah, I never watched that episode, but I've seen every other episode. Which is weird because it's like important or something, but I've never watched it. I saw the runtime of 45 minutes.
I started watching.
They did stuff like.
Yeah, they have like a bunch of movies outside of the actual show.
Yeah.
Which and some of them you can watch. Some of them you can watch like, no matter what point in the show you're in, and some of them like you have to wait a certain, until a certain season to watch. It's weird.
I like these. I liked what BoJack did. I thought it was such a good idea. I don't know if the episode totally works. I've seen it maybe now 3 times. Twice to prepare for this and once originally. And I think it's okay. I think it's an okay episode. I think it's fun. I like seeing the horsing around stuff.
Right.
I love the theme song.
Yes.
3 Little Orphans, 1, 2, 3.
Which I found out.
I
found out Netflix actually has like a 30-second or whatever clip on as its own thing. Just of the horsing around, and it's like got the like TV grain from like the 90s. It's so weird.
It's really funny. It's like coming off a VHS tape or something. Like it's really like.
But it's so weird that Netflix would put that up. It's like 30 seconds.
That was when all this happened. That was so early in the Netflix game that like they never had that before. Like they didn't have that many shows. So they used to do cool stuff like that, and now they have like thousands of shows and stuff, and some of them are really good, and some of them I'm like surprised they even exist. But like, hey, like I wish they did more stupid things like that. Just put like a 30-second the intro to Horsing Around. And it just I remember like when I stumbled upon it, I'm like I thought they were actually going to have episodes of Horsing Around.
That's what I thought. I was like,
on
what?
The feed.
We could do more podcasts.
Exactly, like we could. Oh my god, like this could go forever. But like no, but like I was like so disappointed. I was like happy to see I could watch the intro, but I kind of wanted them to do like just surprise drop a few episodes once in a while. Be like, oh yeah, this is the episode with Nancy Reagan's on it, like something stupid like that. I don't know, but I wish.
Maybe they will. Maybe now that the show's over, maybe they'll make like some weird spin-off of Horsing Around.
Now, have you watched the whole thing?
The whole show?
Have you watched the last season?
Not the last season, no.
I haven't watched it.
We started making the podcast, and I was like, no, I want to watch episode by episode.
I feel like we're going to wait until we get there, which we can.
When we make the final season, everyone's like, this is old news, guys.
We're going to be surprised, like 8 months from now, we're going to be like, what? This is how the show ended? I was nervous because I thought I was going to get spoiled, but like no one was really writing or talking about it. So I was like, oh, cool. I don't know what happened. All right, cool.
Right.
I don't need to know. I'll find out when we get there.
It wasn't really a big show. Like, it's not like a Star Wars or anything that someone's going to spoil it for you.
It wasn't. It never reached that peak of like viewership or anything, unfortunately. But you know what? We have 5 more seasons to get to it. So, so this episode starts off with like it's Christmas as the title indicates, and Todd is lonely, I guess, and wants to spend time with BoJack.
I love the Christmas style intro. It wasn't a theme song, but it was like a tip. It was like the BoJack music, but like holiday like mix.
A Christmassy, yeah. And like Todd comes in singing like a holiday song, which ends with like "I drank up all your beer."
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, perfect. And he has like a big candy cane, and he's just like so in the Christmas mood, and he wants to watch a Horsing Around Christmas Special with BoJack, because, you know, why not? And BoJack says no originally, and then eventually gives into it, because, you know, we have to have the episode, and it's so cool, because 95% of the episode is just horsing around.
Right.
And
it just cuts back to actual BoJack.
To, like, reaction shots.
Yeah.
Because, like, when you, like, because you have that one, like, I've heard of a one Jack in mind.
And it just cuts to BoJack. There's, like, a ton of just, I've heard of a
one-liners.
But this is really ridiculous. Just an overused joke.
But every time BoJack's like, what does that even mean?
Right.
And which makes me think BoJack... Yeah, like, yo yabba dabba, something like that. Ozama. Like,
wowza Bo Bowser or something like that.
There we go.
That was Ethan's catchphrase.
That guy...
And no one ever laughed at it. It was
but he's like at one point trying to get the crowd to applaud it. Like, there's a guy I work with who sounds just like him, and I can't get that out of my brain now.
He's voiced by the Adam Conover.
Really?
Adam Ruins Everything.
That would make sense. That makes sense. Okay. Yeah. I hear it now.
I can't stand that guy. I can stand like funny. His show. His show is kind of cool, but I can't stand him as a person. But I can't stand his character either.
The character he plays is very interesting. The character he plays, Ethan, is just a train wreck of a person.
I don't like Ethan. I wrote here, I don't like Ethan, and it's not because his middle name is Hitler.
That was such a great joke. It's so weird. Oh my god. But the Christmas special, this like kicks off basically like the Horsing Around Christmas Special kicks off basically with like what is it, like BoJack making them breakfast and him asking his orphans, which I don't think he adopts technically because they're still called orphans. Mm-hmm. I guess it's like kind of like a group home situation. Him asking, "What do you guys want for Christmas?" And the daughter giving like a very like 90s girl answer, being like, "I want a leather jacket so I can, you know, sit on the back of this guy's motorcycle as he drives." Right. And Ethan wants socks. Okay, and then, you know,
that's when I realized I don't like Ethan at all.
like, it's not even like cool socks that we have today. It's more like, I want sensible winter socks.
Yeah.
Great choice, Ethan. But the thing is, like, they never really had a Christmas. Right. Is how it's pitched. They never had one in the orphanage.
Because Sabrina does not know what a Christmas is.
Or like what Santa is.
Yeah.
When did these kids' parents die? Like
I guess it was like just a time where Sabrina was like really little, and the other two were like old enough to remember it. Maybe. I guess, but
like they understand what Christmas is, but like the oldest daughter, her name is Olivia. I wrote down because I was going to forget it. Says, "We never had a Christmas." I'm like, yeah, but like, you're like 15 years old, and I assume your parents died like last year. From ages like 1 to 14, you never had a Christmas? That never happened? Same thing with you, Ethan, in your sensible socks. And then Sarah Lynn comes in looking adorable and being like, "What's a Santa? What's a Christmas?" And you're just like, all right, I guess this is the episode. We're teaching Sarah Lynn what Christmas is. And she can't read.
What's a Christmas?
What's going on there? What's going on there? She's like 5.
How old is she? How old is Sabrina?
That's what I'm trying to figure out.
Because like
6.
I know 5-year-olds that can read their own name. You know.
And she can't read anything. Listen, Christmas is a hard word for a kid. I'm not saying it's not.
But later in the episode, she can't read her name.
Like. Oh my god! But she did get her pencil.
She did,
which is great. That's what she wants for Christmas: is a pencil case or whatever. I'm trying like. Let me ask. Did you watch a lot of these Christmas specials as a kid? Like these sitcom-y?
Yeah. Obviously not like 90s shows because I was born in 98, but I watched other like shows like Christmas specials and stuff.
These are like very. When I think of a Christmas special, I think of 90s sitcoms like Full House or Fresh Prince of Bel-Air did them, or like all of them did them, and they're all really cheesy and pretty bad. They all make no sense. Like this episode ends with like BoJack and Todd talking about if Santa exists in this universe, and that is something that did happen on Full House, where an episode ends with Santa Claus sending like the middle child a letter and being like, "Wait, Santa's real?" And it's never explained or talked about ever again. Not even like in future Christmas episodes. It's just like, I guess Santa's real.
That's true. No, yeah.
Oh my god.
That's true. I do remember. Maybe it was Full House, but there was another one, maybe that I watched, where the assumption is always that Santa's actually real in these shows. You know?
Yeah.
But the viewer watching them, if they're not kids, at least, like, they live in a world where Santa isn't real. Sorry to say. Hopefully no kids are watching. But
I really hope they are. That'd be hilarious. We just have some child watching us.
It's such a true thing, though. Like, these shows try to teach, like, real-life lessons.
Yeah.
But they have mythical like characters in them. I don't get it. But also, it's a TV show.
It is, and this is a show within a show we're talking about. So like,
I could see two adults like planning it out and being like, okay, we're gonna pretend like we didn't send the card, and then
it's so weird. My friend told me a story once where his mom went over the top to prove there was a Santa hit him, where she like broke glass, like the window in her living room.
I saw a movie once where the dude actually went on top of a roof on like Christmas Eve and like walked around so the kid could go to sleep.
It's so like kids will believe anything.
Yeah.
I have a vivid memory as a child of seeing a Santa Claus person in the middle of the night on Christmas Eve in the boots, and that never happened. Like, but like as a child, you make this stuff up, and like you can get kids to believe anything. You know, they believe in the Easter Bunny, which for some reason sounds way more far-fetched than Santa Claus, which they're at the same level of like ridiculousness. But it's, you know, it is what it is. I hope kids, kids believe in the Santa. That's a very adorable thing.
But you can't. I don't know. Maybe they just ran out of things to write. Like, okay, what if Santa was real? And at the end of the show, we pan outside, and there's just a sled.
You see him on a sled.
Yeah.
I would have loved this episode with their annoying neighbor Goober turned out to actually be Santa Claus.
Yeah, that's what my thought process was. I'm like, it was probably Goober.
I would have loved if Goober was really Santa.
He plays Santa.
Santa. With sunglasses to show he's cool.
Yeah. But not on his eyes, on his forehead. That's how you.
That's how I wear them.
Yeah.
That's how I would do it. Goober's. I love the annoying sitcom character. I loved Goober just like having like the Steve Urkel like quality to him, just coming in, being like, you know, them yelling even, "Go home, Goober!" Like he's like swiper, no swiping. Like I loved it. I was there for it. I was there for all that.
I love how Sarah Lynn, she doesn't know about Santa Claus, so she doesn't have that like child wonder like, oh, Santa Claus. So she comes in and just Goober dressed in like this red outfit. She's like, "Go home, Goober." Like most kids are like so like when they see like their dad dressed as Santa Claus, they'll be like, "What? Santa Claus?" Because they don't even think like, oh, it could be dad.
It's like Dad would even say, "Oh, I gotta go out to check the car," and then you're like, "Oh, Dad, you missed Santa." It's like, oh, maybe he was here the whole time. Like, good old Santa.
All right, friendly reminder, because we're not recording audio; it's all camera audio. Let's stop recording and start recording our cameras again, so it doesn't stop on us.
Re-recording.
Good.
Yeah, we're good.
All right. So we're gonna have to do that. Sorry, guys. Or else we're not gonna hear Mingo anymore. We're not gonna see or hear me anymore. So
it's. I'll get used to it.
Where were we? I tried to do that in a gap. So, I keep wanting to call her Sarah Lynn because we were introduced to her as Sarah Lynn, but it's Sabrina. Yeah. Sabrina, she. Well, first and foremost, we go to the horse. His job.
Yes.
A lawyer, I guess. A horse.
I thought he worked at like an architecture firm. I don't know why.
Something, yeah.
He had a briefcase.
Of some sort. Yeah.
He had his stuff.
Somewhere where you could make partner, I guess. So I guess you can make a partner in an architecture firm.
I think you can. I don't know. Whatever he was. Maybe he was like. They never explained it. I think.
Yeah. And his secretary, I think Tracy, is her name.
I think so. They had a will they won't they going on.
Yeah, it was funny to see like the writers of the show really made it seem like we were literally just looking into a random episode of Horsing Around. Like, oh yeah,
never explained.
Him and his secretary have a little connection here, but we don't see like the origins of it, and we don't see the like finale of it. We're just seeing like a random point in their
chemistry. Yeah, it's very...
Which is really cool.
I loved it.
Yeah.
And then you find out his boss is voiced by Herb Kazaz, who is the creator of Horsing Around in this world, which I thought was a nice little funny tidbit. And he wants him to work on Christmas because, like, screw family, like...
Right.
And
typical, like, Hallmark Channel...
Yeah.
Boss no like Christmas stuff.
And then you find out that Jeffrey Goldstein works on Christmas and BoJack's reason because he's Jewish, and it's just like,
well, he's like, Jeffrey Goldstein is Jewish. I think that's his name.
The guy,
BoJack's character. BoJack's character is like, he's Jewish, and then over the phone he's like, oh. The boys at the country club are not gonna like that.
Which is a punchline you would hear in the 90s a lot, probably, being like...
Would you? Maybe it wouldn't make it into a show, but it was something that the writers were thinking of, like, let's make that mean person that doesn't, like, wants everyone to work on Christmas.
Anti-Semitic.
A something Berg. So it's, like, implied that he's Jewish.
Oh my god, it was like, that. But then they doubled down on the joke later when you hear the guy in the audience yell, "Fire that
like,
Jew!"
Screw the Jews.
Which is so weird. It's like, but you hear that guy yelling throughout the episode, like, "Kiss her!" and stuff like that. But when he says that, you're like, "Whoa, that came out of nowhere."
He's like, when I think Ethan says something like really dumb or like just not funny at all, like the guy in the background's always like, like not heckling but like saying stuff.
Yeah.
He's like, what?
It was a funny. That was a funny runner. I like that. His whole yelling thing. I was down with.
Yeah, it reminded me of the Eric Andre show a little bit.
It kind of, it had that chaos.
They use the same like laugh track.
Yeah.
Like, making fun of laugh tracks on how, if it's fake, it's gonna sound the same every time, no matter how funny or not funny the joke is. And if it's a real life studio audience, like you're gonna hear like some random guy just cheering louder than everyone else.
So BoJack ends up getting the morning off to be with his kids, which is like cool. That's nice of the boss, I guess. I don't know why the whole place isn't closed, but like, then you find out like Sabrina wants her mommy and daddy for Christmas.
Right. So Goober shows up and is playing Santa.
Doing his Goober thing.
Yeah. So Sabrina walks in and she's like, "Go home, Goober," because she doesn't, for whatever reason, not know She doesn't know what Santa is.
It's so weird.
So, yeah.
So.
But it was so obviously Goober. You know, I don't know what he usually looks like, but.
I assume
that does not look like Santa.
I assume Goober is always wearing a tie-dye T-shirt and like basketball shorts.
Yeah, I will say Goober is probably the best character that show had. And I think we see him again. We see him again.
We see the actor later.
Soon, yeah.
We see the
apparently
actor.
Apparently he killed a bunch of people.
Oh no, he molested those Laker girls. That was the thing. That was it.
That's what it was. Yeah. And he's like, I can't believe Goober cuts the Todd. He's like, I can't believe Goober molested all those Laker girls.
It wasn't Goober. It was the actor who played Goober.
And then they go in. I wrote, they go in and they talk about how the cop from Die Hard is the cop from Family Matters. And he's like, no, it's just the same actor. And he's like, how do you know that?
He's got a point. How do you know that?
Yeah, and Todd was like, 2 words: witness protection.
I love that part.
Which makes sense. They're both cops. Just one's in L.A. and the other one's in Chicago.
Oh my god. Such a weird.
I love Todd's take on things. It's great.
I love
it. Makes
it too.
sense. It's technically not false.
Todd should do the audio commentary for Horsing Around. I would listen. Where's that podcast?
I don't know.
So let's see what else. So they have to devise a plan. BoJack, Olivia, and Ethan on how to convince Sabrina to want something else, because that's impossible what she wants. And they come up with the plan to like trick her into being bad. And I kind of get the plan, like, okay, this is a sitcom. This is a really bad sitcom. We're gonna trick her into being bad. But the plan is to get her to eat cookies that BoJack told her not to eat. Like, is that like?
Yeah. Of course, she doesn't do it.
Yeah.
She's like, okay.
I was expecting something else, though. Like,
I mean, she was shoveling the driveway without being asked to. Do you think she's gonna like throw that all away?
I forgot that she comes in with a shovel,
and then she goes upstairs and poof, poof, poof. It's just they hold that until it stops, and then they continue with the scene.
Oh my god! But the best, like, they're all like looking at her like through the doorwell and like that stacked of 3 thing they do, and BoJack has that line, "Looky, I've heard of looky, don't eat the cookie, but this is ridiculous."
This is ridiculous.
Which I loved. Because I didn't even know what that's supposed to even reference.
So, here's what I love about Horsing Around. It's supposed to be like making fun of all of 90s, the cliches in 90s sitcoms like that. And, earlier on, if you watched like season 1 and stuff, I don't know if we mentioned this on the podcast, but there's one where he's like in the dressing room like smoking a cigarette, and he's like, I just don't get it. Like, if I say I'm not gonna wear a sweater, and then the next shot I'm wearing a sweater, how is that funny? We need to explain why I'm wearing the sweater, or something like that. And he's like writing a rap. He's like, okay, so I need to start it with, my name is Horse and I'm here to say, what rhymes with say? It's just the most cliche rap.
I'm not sure if it's next season. I'm not sure if season 2 or 3, but there's the BoJack dance.
Yes.
That is one of my favorite bits, how he always starts it but never finishes it, and I'm so pumped for that. I want that episode. I want the Horsing Around episode with that debuted, because I think that's phenomenal. So Sabrina, of course, doesn't fall for the trap. And then Christmas comes around, and I always love about TV shows when Christmas is happening, because each person gets one gift extensively, and it's like not how really Christmas works with children. And but apparently all that Olivia got was which was not the leather jacket, which was the helmet instead. Ethan got his stupid sock, so good for Ethan, I guess. And Sabrina got her pony thing, which I don't get really. Like, I get the pony thing. It's supposed to be, like, I guess, like a Barbie play on a Barbie. But she's upset because she really wanted was her mommy and daddy, and instead, there's a note which we assume is from BoJack. Turns out we find out later it's not. It's from Santa, I guess. And Sabrina has that cute bit where she's just like, oh, and then BoJack's like, and she's like, and BoJack's like, what does it say? And she goes, I don't know, I can't read. And then they have to read it to her, and she starts crying, freaking out. And then she goes to run upstairs, and BoJack's got to comfort her, I guess. I think it's cute what's going on. I think it's cute that, she wants this but doesn't get it, and then,
Well, in all fairness, we are told that it's Santa. By both the show and also, like, Todd and BoJack afterwards. Yeah. That it's Santa. But let's just suppose for a minute that it was the horse, a.k.a. BoJack, who wrote the letter. It's probably the best thing you could do in that situation when a kid asks for their dead parents, instead of a toy, to just, like, write them a letter explaining why they couldn't, So, I get that.
I would be fine with it. That's something that I would do if I was someone who was, like, housing children as, like, an orphanage situation. That's something that I would consider doing because it gives the kids comfort. I guess probably there's a downside to it, but I don't know. But, like, I think it's a good idea BoJack comes up with. The character that BoJack plays, the horse, is much smarter than the actual actor BoJack Horseman in the show. But, like, I thought the scene was cute, and I thought it worked enough for, like, a 90s sitcom idea, but, like, I guess what's, like, bugging me about it is BoJack acts like, BoJack's acting like the other two kids came up with the idea for the letter. And I just think that's just like, I would have liked a surprised look or something. Maybe I'd be like, oh, who wrote that? That wasn't me. I don't know.
It would be cool if it was. It would be cool if it was Goober though, because Goober was playing Santa, and maybe he felt bad and was like, "Oh, all right, well, I'm gonna write this letter."
I feel like the fan theory.
Do we?
They read it out loud.
Oh, did
and it's just saying we're really proud of you, Sabrina, and
I didn't get that in my notes, but yeah, no, I mean. What transpires is actually pretty interesting, though. BoJack goes up to, like, talk to her, and it ends with them saying, I actually wrote it down. I'm good to write it down.
What'd you got?
I'm glad your parents are dead. Because last year I was just a horse with no tree working on Christmas, and now I have 3 kids or something like that. And then Sabrina's like, well, when you put it that way, I'm glad they're dead too, or something like that.
He also tells her there's no such thing as Santa, and kind of, like, tells her there's no such thing as a god.
Yeah.
Because he basically explains, like, the adult idea of, like, why adults follow religion so much. He just kind of, like, shatters her world. Right. In this, like, 2 minutes. He, like, there's no Santa. There's no real reason why good things happen in the world. And listen, I'm glad your parents are dead. Like,
because now I'm better off.
Yeah, so screw your parents and screw the happiness you had before I met you.
But it does show, again, the whole thing that horsing around is supposed to show all the cliches that the 90s shows do.
Yeah.
And almost every episode of, like, Full House and all that has, like, such a big, sharp roller coaster.
Yeah.
And then, like, Danny Tanner just goes and talks to Stephanie, and everything's magically okay again. And, we learn a lesson or something. And it sort of just pokes fun at that, I think,
My
how,
guess...
Like, quickly things are back to normal.
Yeah, it's... my guess, it's this, like, weird... my guess in the BoJack Horseman TV world, Horsing Around was not well received at all, and no. It's not. I don't even think it's probably looked back upon in the same fondness of Full House is, even though Full House is terrible. Full House still has this nostalgia to it. It feels to me Horsing Around is more of that show that kind of was on TV that you watch sometimes, and you go like, oh, I used to watch that, and then you like go back and you're like, this isn't good at all. Where like Full House has more of a nostalgia connection to it, I would say, like as a comparison. And then like the episode ends in this like weird like BoJack asks the other two kids if they wrote the letter, and they go no, and then they go, who wrote the letter then? And then they're like,
and
it's like hands up to the letter and Santa, ho ho ho, and you're like, that stuff used to scare me so much as a child. I cannot explain why, but every time I don't know, like back to that Full House episode where like they give the idea Santa might be real. That scared me. Yeah. It scared me, being like, wait, I even as a kid who believed in Santa.
I was kind of relieved when I realized that it's just my parents. I was like, oh, thank God.
I don't have to be good anymore.
Well, it's still cool that I get presents, but like now I don't have to be like, well, I don't have to like be good all the time. I just have to be good in front of my parents.
I could go raise hell.
As long as my parents don't know, I'll still get my Christmas presents. No, but it's, I get what you're saying.
It scared me. It still does. I don't know why. I'm a scared child.
Where did the note come from? Someone had to write it. Where is it?
It was Santa. When did Santa deliver it? Like, is that all he delivered? This was such a weird episode. I love it. I love it. It's not like, I don't love it. Like, I don't think it's a good episode of television, but I do think it's such a weird episode of television. Oh my God. I would have loved if there was more of these. This is so weird. Yeah.
Especially Ethan being Ethan.
Like, come on, that kid is
at one point I wrote this because it was just so outrageously hilarious. Is when Sabrina's like, when it's like just staring at the cookies and they're all looking and seeing if she does it. And he's like, I'll say your odds of her eating those are as good as a Democrat winning the presidential race.
That was such a...
So I'm guessing he's talking about like Bill Clinton or something. Like this is before all that. Maybe.
I guess so. I'm gonna guess it's close to being like Bush Sr. being in office. I'm gonna guess this show premieres.
Well, yeah, Bush Sr. is a Republican, so
yeah, he is. I might guess he's president at this point or something. Like I don't know. It's so. Oh my!
It's just so like, and it's so weird too, cause like watching. I don't know when this episode actually came out. This special came out, but watching it now, I'm like, 2012. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Like Obama was he was president.
I think it was something.
So it was funny then, like, oh wow, we've had 2 Democratic presidents since then. But now, looking at our current climate, and we're like, yeah.
Is that possible? Like, he is definitely. Is it
possible to have a Democrat?
My guess is Ethan is supposed to be a play on Alex P. Keaton from Family Ties, who was played by Michael J. Fox. Amazing actor. I love Michael J. Fox. But he played a young Republican, and his parents were these really liberal people, and that was kind of like the joke of the show. And it kind of launched Michael J. Fox's career. He ends up getting Back to the Future because of it. And but
my guess is they filmed half the movie with.
Oh yeah,
you know about that? He filmed like half the movie. And they're like, nah, we're just going to go with Michael J. Fox, and refilmed everything.
Great decision. Michael J. Fox is amazing. I wanted Michael J. Fox in everything.
Yeah. But.
And so, it basically, it cuts back to reality, and BoJack and Todd decide they're going to watch more Horsing Around. All day.
What is it? 8 more? 8 more
Christmas specials. Yeah, let's do it. Let's round 6
seasons in a movie. Well, it makes sense. Like I said, the reason why we don't have more of those is because it's not network television. Network television has a lot of Christmas because they would premiere in like the fall and they would go through Christmas, so they would always make a Christmas episode so that
I remember Dan Harmon, the creator of Community, talking about this, where he went. He worked on the Sarah Silverman show, which was on Comedy Central, and cable kind of frowned upon doing Christmas specials or holiday episodes of any kind, like Thanksgiving, whatever, because they never know when they were going to air the show.
Right.
But network television, as you say, it historically starts in September and it goes all the way to like May. So, and networks encourage you to do holiday episodes because it just fits the timeline. And BoJack routinely kind of aired at the end in the middle of the summer, so to do like a Christmas episode never made sense.
Right.
So, except for this weird occasion, they decided to do it. I don't know. I wish they always did it though, every year.
Yeah. Well, so the show is good nonetheless, but I'm glad they made like not a movie, but an actual like separate from all the seasons, just Todd and BoJack episode watching an old episode of Horsing Around. I think that was really good, and I'm glad they made like a holiday special. Just cause.
And you know what? You never know. We might get more one day. Like 10 years from now, all of a sudden Netflix drops.
That's true. I think I said this earlier, because the show's over, you never know if they're going to make like a spin-off of like a prequel to BoJack of just his days working on Horsing Around.
Can we get that?
We can. All we got to do is make a petition.
I hear my mom coming up.
Do you wanna take now to reset the I have to change batteries actually.
Yeah, we can reset it. Yeah.
Are you good? Are you recording?
I'm recording now. We're good now. Yeah.
Okay, we're good.
We're back.
Right, let's finish this up.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's finish this bad boy up.
Okay.
So.
You go ahead.
That is so let's just finish. On a scale of 1 to 10, how do you rank this? How are we ranking the episode?
On its own, I would say it's probably an 8. And here's why.
Oh wow. Okay.
Here's why. Because I like the fact that it's separate from every season, but it fits literally anywhere in the show. Because spoiler alert, Todd is in every episode of the show. Well, that we know of. We haven't watched the last season yet.
He could die.
and they always like live together pretty much, and so this literally fits pretty much anywhere. So you can literally find out about this like after you watch the show and watch it. It'll be fine.
I'm sure there are people who have,
But I say 8 because 8? I don't know. I always score a little high, I guess.
Yeah, I always. All right, I'm gonna say like a 6.5. I'm gonna go with. I think I love the idea. I like a lot of the execution of it actually, and I like the fact that it can fit anywhere. But I kind of wanted more. Like, I don't know. Like, I would have been fine actually if we never got the BoJack Todd parts. If you just played it and it was just a Horsing Around episode, and you didn't know why, I was there.
We got some good stuff because
we did
because of that part, because it like cut back and we got the whole Die Hard Cop versus Family Matters thing. We cut back and we saw like I got a bunch of details of the show. I actually wrote some down. So one of the things is Todd's candy cane progressively getting smaller every time you cut back to him.
Oh, that was great.
But not too much. So like if they cut back to him like 2 minutes later, it's not that much different. But if it's like a couple of minutes, it's like half gone.
you also have like the stains of the candy cane all around the bedroom, which are
he's talking
amazing.
And he's like touching the wall. What else? A bunch of floppy disks on the desk of the secretary. She has like just a bowl of floppy disks to show how 90s it is. Ethan goes and turns the magazine over for Goober. Like they're sitting on the couch while BoJack and Sabrina are having a conversation, and it just like in the corner, it's just Ethan turning over a newspaper, and Goober's like, "Oh." Just a fun little detail. BoJack is drinking Guten Bourbon out of a can. I thought it was beer, but it's actually Guten Bourbon. And then there's a see-through phone in Sabrina's room that BoJack just picks up, and his boss is just there. He doesn't dial it or anything.
That's one of that reminds me of this joke. It's in this. I don't know. My dad was so excited to show me this joke from this Eddie Murphy movie. Mm-hmm. He calls me up. He goes, Matt, watch this. It's gonna be in 2 seconds. You watch. It was like 10 minutes later, and it's just Gilbert Gottfried picking up the phone, and just picks up the phone and yells, "Bitch!" and just hangs up. And my dad like starts like bursting out laughing. It's a funny gag, but I'm like, Dad, this took like 15 minutes. But that kind of reminded me of that. Yeah, it's.
Yeah. No, it was very like play, like stage acting. Like the actor just goes over and picks up the phone, and he puts it to his ear, and it just, over the speakers you hear the other person on the other end.
It's a multicam sitcom. It's very much like a play. I really kind of wished. I don't know if this was asking for too much, but I kind of wanted it to be shot like a multicam. It kind of is, but it isn't.
It's shot in front of a live studio audience.
It's even illustrated in a way that makes it look like a stage. Mm-hmm. I kind of wanted, though, the slight camera movements you get in a multicam sitcom.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a set. It actually looks it looks like it's an actual house. Which sounds weird, but me and Mingo have both been on sets where there's an actual set. It's not an actual house.
Yeah.
And it's actually good for it to not look real. It gives it a certain look, and basically you can't just put the camera anywhere, essentially. It's the reason, like, in How I Met Your Mother, you never see the, like, wall. It's always filmed pretty much, side to side that. You never see the wall.
Like how they like sit on the couch to watch the TV. It's
or
it's shot in a way.
Same thing.
Yeah, it's
Seinfeld,
always shot. It's shot open. Like you never get. It's not a cinematic show whatsoever. They're not cinematic shows. It's shot with really 4 cameras shooting multicam most of the time. You kind of have like the 3 basics set up, like the 2 sides and the and I'm blanking on the actual the term, but the 4th camera comes in and it kind of like it's a mover. It moves around more to catch certain angles that you need. But and the great Jimmy Burrows, who's directed like every episode of Cheers, came up with the idea for the 4th camera. But I kind of wish they just do a little bit more stuff like that, but I think that's maybe asking too much for a random holiday episode that just dropped.
Right, and it's animated, so they're like, you know what, this is what a sitcom would look like if we could, have a live studio audience inside a small house, kind of thing. So I get what they're doing, and they're not gonna make it perfect, obviously.
No, I bet if they had more attempts at it, they would have gotten there, though. I think if they would have done like more holiday things.
Well, like I say, if they have a prequel, if they make a prequel to BoJack of just his time making horsing around, like I feel like they would get really good at that. Because you would see like the behind the scenes of him like stepping off set and stuff, and there's no wall there, So
the one thing I have, Sarah Lynn becomes the breakout star of this show, of Horsing Around.
We see that later on when Olivia and Ethan, they're real life actors.
The actors who play them,
they come back.
Ethan, Olivia becomes gains a British accent, and
I think she always had one. I think she was a British actor who did American accent.
I think someone asks her though, like, were you always British? Like, Ethan runs a home goods store or something like that. Oh, like he sells hammers and stuff. Mm-hmm. And Sarah Lynn family business. Yeah. Sarah Lynn becomes a pop star, and she becomes, I guess, like the Britney Spears type of like comparison, I guess you could call it.
Which is accurate to an extent, because like if you look at the Full House people, they were like, what were they doing for years until like Hallmark Channel came around and hired them?
Well, the Olsen twins break out, and that's who I think Sarah Lynn's also supposed to be, kind of like the Olsen twins. Yeah. They become models and stuff and make millions.
But like Bob Saget and Dave Coyler and all them, like where do they go? You know?
Yeah. Well, I've always said that I thought BoJack was supposed to be like a more depressed Dave Coulier, kind of.
Dave Coulier, yeah, that's what his name is.
Yeah, yeah. And John Stamos is just John Stamos. He's doing his thing. He's got his Okos yogurt commercials, so he's making his money.
He still gets royalties from.
He was also on the show Grandfather that I watched like every episode of. That was like one season.
Oh yeah, with Josh Peck.
Yeah. That was it was interesting.
Again, that was like later on though. That was like more recent.
And then he was.
What were they doing for like 20 years? You know.
Bob Saget did stand up again. Yeah. And Dave Coulier did stand up. John Stamos.
But see, going back to stand up after doing a sitcom like that is a huge step backwards. You know, unless you're doing it crazy professionally, which I'm sure they were after.
Well, yeah, because they were professional comedians. Like, well, it's not even like Jerry Seinfeld, who went from the biggest show on television to going back to stand up, because that was where he wanted always to be, back on the road. But I guess I always thought like someone like Bob Saget, who ended up really like parlaying his clean cut persona on Full House into like America's Funniest Home Videos and stuff. Mm-hmm. He's a comedian at heart, so he fell back into it. So did Dave Coulier.
I guess that makes sense, because if you look at like other comedians, like Bill Burr, for instance, like he's a comedian that is sometimes on shows, sometimes not even as a comedian, just as an actor. Yeah. But he's known for mostly his stand-up. So, you know, like no one knows him for like his role on Breaking Bad, but he was on Breaking Bad for several episodes.
He was. I always forget that.
Yeah.
Man, I haven't watched that show in a while.
Yeah.
It's a good show. I guess do you have any final thoughts or anything?
That's about it. I had my details that I wrote down.
You did.
The floppy.
I'm very proud.
In my intro to communications notebook that I don't need anymore because I'm not in school.
That's a notebook you used. According to this notebook, I got a B+ on the essay I did last. So
there you go.
I don't know what class this was for. Oh no, I do. It was my sports writing class. Okay, whatever. Good for me. I like how you have the intro to communications.
Yeah, that class was. I mean, I didn't even need a notebook for it. It was a hands-on like lab course. I think I worked one page out, and the rest is like stuff that I've done since then, since I dropped out. That was like the last class I had in college.
That was the son-in-law class, right? He was the son-in-law? Yeah, okay, that was a bad class. That was terrible.
The one where me and Christian, our friend Christian, and Zayak.
And our friends Zayak,
we're the only ones doing shit in class. Everyone else was like just learning from us, because we knew everything already.
We miss you, Z. He's still kicking.
He is. He's quarantined.
I know. I got nervous. His fiance and our friend Emily posted, "I'm going back to work today." I'm like, wait, what? And she's like, "I'm working from home." And I'm like, "Oh, okay. Yeah. That's different."
Yeah. No, it scared me. Because me and Zayak essentially had the same job. He's on a different level than I am. And I've been able to work from home from here with my computer.
Yeah.
Which doesn't have a webcam, which is why I'm using my phone. And I've actually like ran out of stuff to edit. I actually went ahead and slowed down my editing process so I'd have stuff to do throughout the quarantine. And I've actually run out of things to edit. I don't know what I'm going to do now. We'll see. I can only imagine Zayak, because he doesn't edit, he just films.
He must be going crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know, because he's so productive that I can't imagine how crazy that must be.
He's probably doing really well in Mario Kart or something.
In Wii Bowling, he's probably like broken the game or something.
You go check the world top charts, and it's like he's right there with like an unbeatable record.
Emily did this live stream the other day, a couple weeks ago, and I like was on it watching her her bowl with Zayak on Wii Bowling, and I saw her score, and I commented on the feed being like, pick up your spares, and just like left her.
Oh man, I like how we ended this podcast with like something that we usually talk about after the podcast.
So go follow Zayak and Emily on Instagram.
So, yeah, go follow all their friends. Just go to our Instagram and find out who we follow and follow all of them, and you'll know exactly what we're talking about.
So we're actually perfect time to do the plugs. You can follow the show's account at the _Hollywoo_reporter on Instagram and Twitter.
It's in the description.
It's in the descriptions. And then you can follow me at Mingolingo Kingo on everything. And Dan, have you changed your Instagram name again?
I did. It's Dendez now. Man_Dendez, which is just my name, Dan Mendez, with the 2 first letters switched.
I miss Durf Daddy Dan, honestly. That was my favorite.
That's my gamer tag now. I'm a gamer now, Bingo.
You're a gamer?
Kind of. I play racing games.
I got into NBA 2K.
Nice. Yeah, I think you told me about it, yeah.
Yeah, I got into that a little bit. It was on sale like last week or so, and I just bought it, and I was like, all right, it's like $20. Compared to when it's like 60.
We're all just trying to find things to do.
Oh my god, you have no idea.
Do you think we should start recording season 2 like this?
I don't see why not. We have really no other options.
That's true.
I think we thought that.
I mean, if we record it the way we did season 1, it's literally going to take us 6 years to do this entire podcast.
Well, especially with the way
we started filming season 1. No joke. Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's almost Memorial Day weekend.
We almost also just the fact that, with the quarantine stuff, it's just going to be hard to find time and also like safe opportunities to do anything. Mm-hmm. So I think we should just continue to do it like this for now, and then when this is all lifted, we can figure going back to normal.
Plus we have momentum now that we've been posting every week.
That's true, and I think, you know what, I've talked to some people as a lamp fell over who like what we're doing, so I think that's a great note to end it, honestly.
It's RIP Lamp, R.I.P.
We miss you.
Anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Mingo,
it's been real.
You good? Keep it real.
I'm
just gonna stop recording, and then we can say goodbye in private. But thank you guys so much for watching this podcast, listening to it. If you're listening to it, check out all of our Instagrams, Twitters, YouTubes, all that stuff, and we'll be back soon with more content, either like this or hopefully in a few weeks time we can go back to normal. But
hopefully, fingers crossed.
That's a hope that I have, not necessarily yet.
Yeah. Fingers crossed.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Well,
thank you guys so much for watching.
Thank you. Love you.
Bye.
Bye.